Long ago, when the world was still young, people began to fill the earth. But something went terribly wrong. The people turned their hearts away from God. They became cruel, selfish, and violent. Everywhere God looked, the world was full of evil instead of love. God was deeply saddened. He had made people in His own image, but now they chose darkness instead of light. So God said, "My Spirit will not struggle with humans forever. Their days will be 120 years." But among all the chaos, there was one man who stood out: Noah. He was different. While others mocked God, Noah walked with Him. While others chose corruption, Noah chose obedience. Noah wasn't perfect, but he had faith, and that faith made him righteous before God. One day, God spoke to Noah. "I am going to bring a great flood upon the earth, because the world is filled with violence. But you, Noah, will be saved. Build an ark of wood. Make it strong and large, 3 stories high, with rooms inside. Cover it with pitch to keep the water out. Bring into it your family and 2 of every kind of animal, male and female, so that life may continue after the flood, and take food for them as well." Imagine Noah's neighbors watching him build this enormous boat on dry land. They must have laughed at him. "Look at crazy Noah. Why build a ship where there is no sea?" But Noah didn't stop. For years, maybe even decades, he worked with faith and patience. Every hammer strike was an act of obedience. Every plank of wood was a message. God's warning is real. A flood is coming. Finally, the ark stood ready. Towering and strong, it was a picture of hope in the middle of a sinful world. Noah and his family entered the ark. The animals came 2 by 2, lions and lambs, birds and insects, elephants and tiny mice. And when everything was ready, God Himself shut the door. Outside, people kept living as if nothing would happen. But God's word always comes true. Soon the skies darkened, the fountains of the deep broke open, and rain began to fall. The rain poured down for 40 days and 40 nights. The waters rose higher and higher until even the tallest mountains were covered. Everything outside the ark perished, but inside, Noah, his family, and the animals were safe in God's care. For 150 days, the waters covered the earth, but God did not forget Noah. One day, He sent a great wind to blow over the waters, and slowly they began to go down. The ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. After weeks passed, Noah opened a window and sent out a raven. It flew back and forth, but the waters had not dried yet. Then Noah sent out a dove. The dove returned, but there was still no place to land. 7 days later, Noah sent the dove out again. This time, it came back with something in its beak, a fresh olive leaf. Noah knew the waters were receding and life was returning to the earth. He waited 7 more days and sent the dove out again. This time, it did not return at all. The earth was ready. At last, after more than a year inside the ark, God spoke to Noah. "Come out of the ark, you and your family. Bring out every living creature with you, so they may fill the earth and be fruitful again. The great wooden door creaked open. Sunlight poured in. Noah, his wife, his sons, and their wives stepped out on dry ground. The animals rushed out, stretching, running, flying, and filling the world with life again. Noah's first act was not to build a house, plant crops, or celebrate. His first act was to worship. He built an altar and offered a sacrifice to God, thanking Him for saving his family and giving the earth a new beginning. And God was pleased. He said in his heart, "Never again will I curse the ground because of humans, even though their hearts are often bent toward evil. Never again will I destroy all living creatures as I have done. As long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease." God then blessed Noah and his family, promising that the earth would continue and life would flourish again.